Hi everyone, let's paint together today. So you already saw result if you were drawn to this video. I just started, so this will be experiment together with you. So I want to paint this mandala more like with green colors because it's springtime in northern atmosphere, so it's kind of that time that you enjoy these new leaves and grass and all of these flowers, obviously. So I already mixed colors and I want to show you what I actually did and what I planning to use. And first of all, I am using DecoArt Sage Mandala, Sage Mint. This is our first color. Let's try together. Actually just open it, so it's just new for me. So it will be obviously beautiful. Just I didn't expect anything else. The next color we'll use, it is Sea Glass. So it's almost the same, but I believe on the end result we can see difference because obviously it is not the same color. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit colder, as you can see, so it means it is, as you know, the green is a mix of yellow and blue, so I believe over there it's more like blue and maybe white, like cold white, if you know what I mean. So the next one, it's also new colors that I just opened before this video to save some time. So this is a new leaf. Obviously I need to use this for this mandala. So this is a new leaf. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it is a new leaf. And I want to jump a little bit because this one, the fuse, it is a mix with new leaf and literally 2 drops of snow titanium white DecoArt. So it is, I want to show like straight after that to show like how far it's gone from original color mixing. And yeah, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I mean, I'm just enjoying just like doing these lines already. And what we also will use, this force coming back, this is a Bahama Blue. I want to use it like contrast for all these green colors, and obviously it is about why it kind of works, because obviously there are a lot of rains in spring, so like light blue will be kind of working, but still see a lot of this color even we are not realizing. And it is again, it is combining with obviously with green, because blue, as I said, is mix yellow and blue and dark blue. And you can see, I believe it will work well, just almost the same but different. I want to use this explanation. And the last one in this line, actually I mixed this jelly green because it's so dark. As you can see, I decided to mix it, not to add this palette, because it's kind of more like later on during the summer we saw these colors. And with literally I did, so I put almost half of jewelry green and half of the same snow titanium white, and I got this result. Just show you. So this like 50-50, I may say, and we're getting this one. And this for me it's something between this and this color, or may I say mix. So in this color it's kind of more yellow, adding more yellow than in this one, in Bahama Blue. So this is base that I want to use. Also I want to use, I'm planning to use, so I'll show you, but I'm not sure yet. You already know results, so we'll see. So I decided that if I want to add some flowers on my green palette, because obviously it is about springtime, so I want to use this color. Maybe, I'm not sure yet, as I said. So I believe this will combine great if I will decide to add like contrast. And this color is also my one of favorite mine, coral shell. So already mixed and prepared. What about drops? I'm planning to use, obviously I believe I will use just this pure color, this Snow Titanium White, and I planning to use these drops, Pearl White, and this is Art Creation, if you're interested in the brand. And I also got 2 of these drops. I'm not sure that I will use this, but it's Dovecraft, so I just bought it in my local store. I'm not sure in your place is it available, maybe you can use another one. So this color I used before, it will be a little bit more darker than this color, so I believe this will work well. Let's try. And so it's definitely will be like bright sparks in a painting. And this one pretty dark. I also used it before, but again it is and just use the white one maybe to see how it works. Yeah, a little bit of air added up to our. That's why it's so important to remove air, because as you can see, even I can't even properly remove it now. Let's try again. So it's kind of a big one, but you can see now that it's a sparrow. So this is our palette that I'm planning to use. I'm not sure about this coral shell yet, because but I wanna leave it like for my consideration, because this, I'm scared this will be too boring. But maybe this secret to create some beautiful mandala, but in the same tone, like blue greenish. We'll see. And especially with these dots, it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty nice. So we'll see how it goes. You already saw result, as I said. So I'm planning to do this paint small one today. It is 20 centimeter diameter, so already prepared. These circles made like every 1 centimeters, and these lines it's 22.5 degrees. So it is already done. If you need to, you can pause the video obviously and return when you're prepared. So let's start with from the beginning. So when I was not sure, but when I already prepared the colors, I just decided that center should be white, just white. This Snow Titanium White. So I'm choosing like 20 millimeters diameter, and I'm going straight to the center. Pour as much paint as you can, obviously not too much to be able to work with this. What is really important at this point, it is obviously like move paint around. As you can see, when you're pouring first time, paint, you can't add technically too much volume, but you later on, when it dried out, you can come back and add additional paint. Usually you need to obviously use the same paint and the same or smaller tools. Just one of the secrets. So let's try to remove all these bubbles, as you can see already there. When it's good paint, and you can see it's lined out like easily after that. So let's get and do some dots. So let's start with this maybe 1.5 millimeters, and I'm going straight like with a line that I prepared, like at least from the beginning. So you can use these lines that you have, and this will be really helpful, especially at the beginning when you are not sure. Dots should not be combined, that's why they call it dots, obviously. In this case, because we chose this exactly size of dots, 1.5 millimeters, it's easily to go with this, as you can see, lines. It's maybe not like that if you we choose, like, for example, smaller tool, but I wanna do this easy, especially at the beginning. It's so important. To be able to learn. So our first circle already, and we are going further. So again, to be easy, now the next line of dots should be exactly between these dots. So I want to use, in my case I need to wash instrument because I want to use 2 millimeters. Now it's the same tool, so 2 millimeters, and the next color, as you remember, sea glass. The first one was sage mint, so sea glass now, and we're going between these dots. As you can see, there are a lot of space between, but you don't need to worry for this particular part. We will use these spaces in the future. Next line. And again, if you see because we used this size, we again going straight between lines. So before we did on the center of a line, and now we are going between lines. Now I see that some dots are smaller, so I can actually come back and add a little bit more paint. When it's fresh, it's not too dangerous drawing this, and the opposite actually works. So what is the advice when you are starting? If you're not sure, you need to wait when this will be dried out, and you can paint later on, because when your paint dried, you can literally experiment with the other colors and remove new paint if something happened. So we finished. It's pretty green, as you can see. So now we need to add some contrast to this, or go with the flow and go like layer after layer and add contrast colors over there only. In a big mandalas, it makes sense to use all colors from the beginning. In a small one, it's not so important because you can see, like, your eyes can see all picture from the beginning. So that's why I want to go next layer circles, and we got with 2 millimeters. Let's go with 3, if I can find a tool, obviously. Here we are, 2.5. So next one will be 2.5, and I want to go not with the blue, not with the dark green. I want to go with this light green. So this, just remind, is in you leave with a couple of drops Snow White color. So 2.5 millimeters, and we're going again between these dots like that. So again, with this size, we can use, again, place our dot in this circle on these lines, on marks we did at the beginning. I'm absolutely in love, actually. I don't want to add any other colors, just green. Maybe I will change my mind later on, but now it's just like I'm enjoying this. What is going on? To be honest, in this case, usually, as you can see, we got a lot of space between, and usually we are using this space because it's kind of, we are trying to do as much dots as we can, and when it's a lot of small details, it looks beautiful, nice, and kind of not so easy to get done, yeah. So, but somehow now I don't wanna do this. So if you wanna, you can use the small thin tool and do a little bit small tails to the center, and this will looks more complicated. And maybe I will use, and I'm using this on a bigger scale, but now what I want to do, it's leave it like that, and this will be like sort of drops, like small leaves that's coming, and this kind of works for me, at least like I see it now. Maybe we'll do the next time, but now I just like it like that. So let's go and do the next. And the next one, because it's small area to play with, I can't do 2 big dots, yeah. So let's go with 3, and with this color that we did, just reminder, Java green with half, sort of 50% Java green and Snow White again. So let's do it again. This time we will place it between, like that. And as you can see, in this green, in the Java green, it's more like more blue pigment, and that's why it looks like it's still green, but it's like more bright, sort of bright green. Yeah, and now I wanna do those that I mentioned before, like small tails. And you can leave it like that easily. It's gorgeous. So I just wanna do small leaves, sorry, tails, to create kind of young leaves. You need pretty thin tool for this, and clean it if you need when you're painting. Leave in the comments if you want, if you're happy with this idea, or maybe we should do these tails before, just from your perspective. So it's ready. And let's go and do the next line. We at this point, as you can see, you a little bit moved paint, so you can literally come back and add a little bit on top. like that. So it is ready. So now we need to move like further with a bigger ornament, with bigger like flowers, leaf, whatever you're calling it. So what I'm gonna do, I wanna use slightly bigger instrument, not too big because it's small area to play with, and let's go with maybe 5 or 6. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with 6. And now I want to use this dark color, this sorry, I forgot already, new leaf. And because when you're using wanna use, for example, basis color and put in after it's dry out something else, you need to use for the base the darker color. So let's do this. And because I'll just put it and I'll show you. I know already that I will play around with this big dot, so I need to leave a little bit space. And also why I decided to put it on a line, because already our previous dots between the lines, as you can see. So this one I wanna put like that. And as you can see, it's pretty nice paint, and you don't need to move paint too much. It's going around, and when it's dry out, the surface will be exactly as we need. Obviously, if you can see bubbles, you need to remove those. Add paint. With adding paint, we add in obviously like dimensions to our final result, and as you know, it looks pretty nice when it's kind of dots not at the same surface as base, obviously. So that's why I made it like additional paint. Obviously, if you're doing this from the beginning, like that, you don't need to come back. Yeah. Yeah, with DecoArt you're getting like nice consistency, and that's why it's nice to use it. I don't need to say it that I'm in love with this. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is definitely about green, about spring. And also you can leave in a comment what is your idea about the name of this paint, because it's kind of already asking me, how you want to call me? Wonderful. And let's talk now a little bit. So at this point it is better maybe to leave it like that to try out if you are not sure with next steps, because when it, as I said, when paint dry, you can easily remove next layer if you don't like it, and it's not so easy when you need to remove all dots around. So I wanna leave it like that. Oh, let's try. I will start, and maybe if you need to pause video and come back when you are ready, when it will be tried out. So I'm using like a really small tool for next one, 1 millimeter. Actually, if you're using these tools, this also the thinnest is a 1 millimeter. With these tools, you can actually go a little bit even more thin with 1/2 millimeters, but I believe I will use 1 for this one. And now I'm coming back to this Bahama Blue to add a contrast. So I'm placing a dot like that, maybe a little bit bigger, and move around with the small dots like that. If you see that something like additional on your tool, just need to wash out and remove it. And you can see now what I was talking about when I was saying that this will add a contrast. Maybe it's not clear now because it's not dried, but this green will be pretty dark, I believe, like that when it's dry out. So, and we will add lighter on the top again when it's dry. But you already see that this Bahama Blue giving you like this nice contrast. And I see small bubble, so I can remove it now. The smaller you can make these dots, the nicer it will be. So if we are talking about sort of associations, it is kind of like small drops of water in the morning on our leaves in a garden. It looks for me. nature, I believe, is the biggest inspiration can be for us, because all colors already kind of existing. Maybe not where we live, but in other destinations. And we just need, especially obviously in the south countries, and we just need to use it. Yeah, this one a little bit too big, but I'll leave it like that because my paint is not dry, so I can't remove it, like, to not destroy everything. So I just fix it a little bit, making just sometimes you just need to play around and add some harmony. You don't need to go like and change everything. That is my favorite part, maybe, in art creation. Because maybe if you noticed, nature is not perfect, but it's still beautiful. So it's nice when it's harmonized. What we are now doing, it's pretty maybe classic. Maybe I try to remove these two last ones. They are just pretty big. It's sort of, I just said you don't need to do this, and just like prove myself wrong. But sometimes you just feel it, you know? So I'm trying to be as careful as I can to not destroy everything that's already painted. You can move forward if you want to with this video, but now it's just almost there. Yes. Let it try out. Why it's happening, as you can see on my tool, a little bit too much paint already. So for such small details, maybe you need to come back and just wash your tool, try it out, and move forward. So we finished, and as you can see, I want to like talk a little bit now about what you can see. So while we are painting, this first layer is already like drying out. It's not yet completely, but it is, and it is changing and a little bit contrasts. So first two colors, as you remember, we are talking about, they're almost the same, sage mint and sea glass, but actually now you can see it's not the same. And this sage means that you, or I think, that will be lighter. Now you can see it's actually a little bit darker, but it's played out because I used white color for the center. So what I want to do next, also just before I end it about the next step, as you can see, when we started this Bahama Blue, it is, when it's drying out, because dots so small, it is becoming like a really more contrast and more blue. That's why I was talking about that we need to add some blue like for contrast. But it makes sense because, again, as I said, it is kind of, for example, with this my idea, it is drops of water on our leaves, so it's kind of playing out. So at this point, we can see that we are not sure about the result of color harmony. That's why I wanna wait until this color will be dry out, and we'll only at this point we'll decide what actually color we can add on the top, because now we don't know actually how it will looks like. And one more I want to notice, that when I started I just like wonderful green and so on, but now I'm literally coming back my previous decision that we did at the beginning, and actually now understand why I think about adds this color like a contrast, because on a color spectrum, green, it's a mix yellow and blue, and the opposite side, the contrast side, it will be red. So it is obviously not red, and I don't want to add red to this color, but it is kind of part of red part of this color and coral shell. And so at this point I want to add this now, and I was like 10 minutes ago said like, no, it's wonderful, now I want to add this. What I'm gonna do, we obviously need to wait until it's dry out to play around these dots, as I said, but I wanna add now breeze to play around the next layers. So again, we can wait until everything dry out. So what I wanna do, I wanna add again white, because we can't leave it like that, only one place when we use dry white. It should be somewhere over there also, again, for harmony. And so what I wanna do, I wanna do small, maybe not so small like this one, but this will be a little bit bigger. Let's think, maybe 9. So I want to add in the center, again between these ones, I want to add white dots just to play around them with maybe small strokes already. And just thinking how much space we need in this case. So actually I believe for small strokes will be enough. Okay, just do the next step until we made a little bit rest. So I'm doing like that. So this is 9. you can see that now it is kind of what we're talking about. It is adding harmony to this white and at the same time making our paint a little bit lighter. Don't worry, I'm not planning to leave it like that, like just white, but we need to wait it until it dry out to add any additional color, as I said before. In this case, we literally need to move paint a little bit because dots too big and paint can't like move easily around. So we just like a little making surface, preparing actually surface for the next paint. And next paint will be exactly that we are talking about. It will be our shell. Coral shell paint. We're just helping the paint a little bit. As you can see, the surface pretty nice over there already. Sorry if you can hear noise. My neighbors. And if you notice some bubbles, as I did, we need to come back and like remove those until it's dry out, not dry out. And moving forward. Again, because it's so small surface, you can play or with really small details or just really big. You don't have like place to combine all. That's why now we are more going and moving with small details. As you can see, a lot of like bubbles under the surface. You just need to wait a little bit because they will be out. Just give it time. And even like when I'm moving, I can see this removing a little bit these bubbles automatically. Okay, and taking care about bubbles. finishing. So what I'm gonna do, I will finish with this, sorry, my neighbor is pretty loud, as you can hear. So I will finish with these dots the same way, and I'll come back when this will be everything will be tried out and we go with next layers of paint. So see you on next video.